Okay, we are at the Park Forest Public Library in the Ringering Room, and we are looking at art exhibit from the students of Pat Moore at the Tallgrass Art Association School. So Pat is with me, and she will describe what the students' charge was, and we'll take a look around at some of the excellent artwork.
Oh, that's wonderful. In some cases, as exampled by the two women figures that are in this group that you're looking at, the students were told to look at a Mona Lisa picture that was by Leonardo da Vinci, and they can interpret it in a modern way so the kids could use their imagination and do whatever they want. In some cases, she has antlers and she's holding chips in her hand, and she has an unusual look that's supposed to be more modern. And the students have been told to use their imagination, and they could do anything they choose. So you see the eye of this one Mona Lisa has a flower in it, and she has antlers, and she's holding some leaves in her hand. This one with the fairy and the flying bug, they were told to float something over the ocean or over a mountain, and this student decided to do a little fairy with a bug that is bigger than the fairy itself, and that's quite an imaginative piece. Isn't that wonderful?
It's wonderful. And Pat, you know, I forgot to state, but I'll ask now, the age range of the students?
Age 5 through 16.
Uh-huh.
And young Conrad is 7 years old.
Beautiful.
And as he says, he's autistic but very bright.
Wonderful.
And Sydney loves doing abstract pieces, and she gets very creative using all kinds of shapes and colors.
Awesome. Okay, let's step back for these pieces.
Here again we have on the left the Mona Lisa being interpreted, and she has on her a few bugs and caterpillars, which I think, and look at the creative colors, it's just absolutely
This is wonderful. Truly wonderful.
Truly, it's so well done. They use different media. That's with oil pastel. The next one is American Gothic interpretation, and instead of a pitchfork,
What's he holding?
Zelda's holding a fork, has the figure holding a fork. So it's extremely out of the box thinking.
What do we have here?
We have part of an octopus. Janet Amu needed to do a picture with textures, and she painted it with an oil paint that's fairly new. It's water soluble.
Water soluble oil
paint.
And isn't that
What an
wonderful for
oxymoron.
cleaning? Yeah.
And she had a picture of part of an octopus and the texture of the wood underneath it. It's really quite well done.
Nice.
And it's on canvas. And the next one is Bianca's. She has a lot of expression. She likes expressing feeling and emotion, and she did this with pencil only. She didn't want to incorporate any color. She felt it would be more dramatic, and you can see movement.
It's dramatic.
It is very dramatic.
Okay, we'll go up to that one, and then we're going to move on for the sake of time.
Yes, the next one is an interpretation of Rene Magritte's artwork. He's a surrealist and would put daytime skies and nighttime coloring below his picture, and we know we can't have day and night together, so that's what makes it surrealistic. And this is Autumn's interpretation of
Nice. So Pat, let me ask, will you prompt your students with bringing in different pictures of paintings, or do you say go find an artist?
Sometimes
how do you do that?
Sometimes I will say go find an artist, but in many cases I have pictures, as I had with the American Gothic and the Mona Lisa. I had pictures and I gave them copies, and I said, do with it as your imagination allows you to express yourself. And they come up with their own ideas.
It's fantastic. All right.
This is.
I imagine they become very invested
Yes,
in the project,
they do.
and I hope there's a pride factor once
There is.
they're done with it.
There
because
is, and this
with
student,
framing and
this is supposed to be an interpretation of Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh.
love it. Yeah.
And you see the movement in the sky and how the
Yeah.
stars have light. And this is what Van Gogh did in his Starry
Oh.
Night picture, but they changed it completely.
Yeah.
I said, put your own home in it, put a house that you might like to have,
uh-huh.
whatever you would
On a
choose.
hill. Fantastic. Okay, so as we move along,
The next
what do we got here? Real?
The next one is an ocean picture, and this is a contribution of a class, a large number of students.
Uh-huh.
And they each contributed an image of a fish or even a treasure chest in the corner. And they cut them out after they colored them. And then I applied the paint to show an ocean.
So that was
in
a
the
class
background.
project,
That's a
basically.
class project.
What do we got here?
And this is supposed to be a room. Vincent van Gogh did his bedroom, and I said to the kids, express yourself, showing a room you might like to have.
Uh-huh.
And so they created
They got their easel.
their easel
Yeah.
with a palette,
Now there's an artist.
and there's a seating arrangement to the right of that, and they used their imagination, and they showed some depth by taking
Oh yeah.
the lines of the floor and
Did some vanishing points.
yes, had a
and-
vanishing point.
Uh-huh.
So they
I
learn
don't
all
see a
kinds of
big
things.
screen TV. Isn't that wonderful? They're just going to be artists, and they're going to lounge a little bit. Well,
Yes.
let's move on here.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Here
Some more of the
again,
Van Gogh.
We have two interpretations of Vincent van Gogh with this group, Starry Night pictures, and then we have another Mona
Mm-hmm. Mona
Lisa,
Lisa.
and she's just
The
holding her
glare is
hands.
hard
Yes,
to-
it is.
okay.
It is, and she has huge earrings.
Oh, nice.
And she has a road behind her and trees like they have in the original, like Da Vinci has in the original
Huh.
piece.
So what do we have here?
This is a project that the kids did. I gave them figures that they could choose from. There were 100 and some odd figures. They were already pre-printed. They could incorporate the figures that they chose in whatever their background was. It could be anything.
Uh-huh.
So in this case, this student decided to have an outdoor arrangement of the figures. I said choose 2 to 5 pieces.
Isn't there something British, European about this one?
Yeah, well, these are just images that are pre-printed, and they're from the 40s and
Nice.
30s and
Uh-huh.
20s.
Very
And
cool.
Young
Kai.
Kai is like 6 years old,
Uh-huh.
and he has an upside down rainbow. This is again talking about Rene Magritte, putting 2 or more things
Ah.
together, unlike they could ever be in real life. You
Oh.
can't have a castle or a house floating in the sky, and you're not going to have clouds and a rainbow upside
You know,
down.
wait a minute. I think Don McLean did a song about castles in the sky.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so, you know.
And that's really appropriate because Kai's
Yeah.
dad is a blues musician that travels all over
Castles
the world.
in the air.
I'll
I got a
have to
dream
ask.
I want the world to share.
I'll ask.
Yeah, so we've heard a song about it and we're seeing it now. An airplane. Very cool, Kai. Okay, we're gonna back up.
Yes, we have
Oh, very nice.
Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night again. Interpretation. Remember, I said they could.
Look at the vibrant colors.
Yes,
Isn't that great?
they could incorporate.
Yeah.
We have Mona Lisa who starts to do her alphabet above her head.
Does she have a hat on?
Yes, she does.
Because I've been enamored with Mona Lisa and Mad Hatters
Oh, there you
lately.
go. All right.
Beautiful song.
Well, this one, and this young student decided to put birds and animals in this picture. It was supposed to be a landscape picture that they were able to do, and they could express putting animals in if they chose. So there's rabbit, squirrel, cardinal, there's all kinds of animals that have been
Nice.
put in.
Okay, and the last
The last
panel or
grouping- The last grouping we have again.
grouping, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. We have the
That project.
the project where they have some perspective in the distance, and this student worked 5 weeks on this project. Look how
Oh, yeah, yeah.
beautifully done.
He or she,
Oh,
definitely
he.
has the
Just,
vanishing points.
just
and,
absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, so
Just wonderful.
I
And
think that I took a class a long time ago.
On perspective?
Two-dimensional perspective, yeah, at Prairie State. But it was fun. I mean, it was, it was
they learned a lot.
good training, yeah.
And beautifully
Nicely
finished.
done, young man.
And this is
Stevens.
Ricky. This is
Okay,
Ricky
Ricky.
Brown, and his brother Cato did the piece next to him. And the two come together to classes, and again look at the perspective, and it's expressing.
Excellent. How old are Ricky and Cato?
Oh, they're about 12. I say they're about 12.
Great job, young man.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And this is a little girl's picture of an animal, and it looks so peaceful and quiet. And they use all different kinds of materials. They're learning how to use acrylic paint. They're learning how to use pen and ink. They're using cutouts and collage, and they're using watercolor and chalk. All kinds of different mediums.
So we need to focus on these last two in this grouping because they're
Yes.
spectacular.
Yeah, this
This is way cool.
This
What's
is
up?
Sarah Blanton's figure with flowers covering the whole figure. We had been talking about the Mona Lisa. I really believe it's kind of her interpretation of a modern Mona Lisa. I really do. And she's extremely talented, like they all are. They all are wonderfully talented. She just recently won a medal and brought it to Tallgrass to show Cody.
Cool. Yeah.
And this is another one of her pieces. I had said use an animal in a piece, and so she incorporated this horse or pony with the figure of a young girl reading a book.
So we're going to look at one more
This is in the style.
artwork in the Ringery room. Then we're going to make a quick trek out to some sculpture and talk about that, and then we're going to wind it up. But anyway,
Right.
what do we have here,
This
Pat?
is in the style of Jim Dine. Jim Dine is a very modern abstract artist. He did series of robes that were brilliantly colored bathrobes. He did a series of hearts, and the students just loved all the textures. So we created a group project where everybody did a heart. We cut them out, we laid them out together so that they could be displayed
So
together.
we have two.
Lots.
Go ahead.
Lots of texture.
So we have two class projects
Yes.
at each end of the Ringery room.
Yes.
So I'm going to pan around. This is the back wall. Here's the entrance of. And so here's the Ringery room. And we encourage you to stop by and see this wonderful artwork by the students, ages
5 through 16.
5 to 16 in the Ringery room. But this is not where it ends. We're going to step out very quickly and look at some of the sculpture work from the same students, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
All the same.
we'll just, you could come take a look at this. It's all around this area, but this is a sample of.
Yes.
Pat, you told me this is called outdoor art?
Well, outsider art.
Outsider art, okay.
Outsider art. We're using recycled materials. We're using materials that we are recycling, and the same students, Bianca, who did the expressive pencil piece in the other room, did this figure that expresses movement with the figure's arm up against the head. And this is Stephen's figure that he did with the arms out.
So similar to Jennifer Meyer's repurposed, recycled sculpture.
Correct.
Sculpture.
Correct.
Which is in the downtown Village Green.
Correct. And
this is a similar project, similar charge to the students.
Exactly, and they're taking objects that I have found or that I've been given, and they're putting them together and expressing themselves the way
So are
they
you
want.
seeking donations? Or
Oh,
are you...
all the time.
Pat,
all the
this
time.
is spectacular. It's at the Park Forest Public Library until when?
Through the middle of August.
Okay. Fantastic. You're doing great things
Oh,
with the
thank you.
students and contributing to the art
Thank
in
you.
Park Forest. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you.